Hi, my name is Dean Hogan. I am 57 years of age, and just over 2 years ago I was diagnosed with early onset Alzheimer's disease.
Alzheimer's affects the brain by creating areas of damage that over time cause the brain to shrink. This shows itself for the individual as a variety of symptoms. No journey with Alzheimer's is the same as another person's, so it could affect your speech, it could affect your balance, your perception, appetite, mood, all areas of life really.
I was walking around life, day to day forgetting things. At work I had a very stressful job at the time. I was supervising or overseeing 2,200 plus staff, 70 odd fitness clubs across the UK, and I was travelling from 5:30, 6 o'clock most mornings and not getting back till 7, 8 o'clock most nights, at least Monday to Friday. And as the years went on, the job got more stressful and I got more forgetful. And to be fair, I just put it down to stress. I just thought, well, maybe it's just the day-to-day rigours of all the travelling, and the fact that I was under so much pressure that forgetting stuff was just part and parcel of my life.
Well, in terms of dementia as a whole, because there are over 100 different types of dementia, it's quite difficult to put down an exact figure. In terms of Alzheimer's, over the age of 65, 1 in 14 people will develop the disease at some point in their lives, which is a really high number.
I ended up going for a test at the memory clinic. It was actually quite stressful, because you don't know what they're actually testing you for, other than the fact that you know that they're trying to get to the bottom of what the issue could be. I then got a phone call, or I got a letter from the clinic saying could me and my wife go and visit them for the results. And we were sat in the clinic, and it was strange really, because this woman came out, quite a strange woman really, not very nice and talkative, very it was almost like she didn't want to come out and say hello to you. And I remember walking towards this room with her, following her, with Evelyn, just me and Evelyn. And then we got in this room, we sat down, and she said to me, "How are you?" Asked me very nicely how we are, introduced herself, and her name was Carol, and that was it. And then she said to me, "I've got to give you some news now that's going to change your life forever." And that news was that they've been diagnosed 90% chance of having early onset Alzheimer's disease, which is a form of dementia.
It was quite a shock, to say the least. I think we both just thought he was a bit stressed out from his job that he had, and he was been overworked. But we have good days and we have bad days. When we have a good day, anybody would think that it was perfectly normal and there was nothing wrong with him. But on bad days, they can be really frustrating and upsetting really, because he just totally forgets that he's actually asked you something and can ask you several times the same thing, which does get a little bit frustrating sometimes. Examples of that can be, he'll sit to be having his tea and he'll ask if we've had any mail, and you'll tell him or you show him what we've had, and then about 10 minutes later he'll ask you the same question again and deny all knowledge of having asked it in the first place, which obviously he doesn't realise that he's doing that.
And both me and Evelyn sat down with the two lads, Benjamin and Cameron, and told them about the news, so that was quite emotional. However, at the time I was only 90% diagnosed, not 100%. So there was a 10% chance that everything was going to be okay. So I was sort of clinging on to that for a couple of weeks, and then I was told to go for a scan at the Derbyshire Royal Infirmary. And then about 2 weeks later we went back to see Carol Redston, and Carol then said to me that she confirmed that the other 10% had now been confirmed, and I was 100% diagnosed with what's called early onset Alzheimer's disease.
Tends to get a lot worse when he's overtired, but the thing is, with the way he is at the minute, his mind is very determined. If he sets out to do something, he kind of tends to have to finish it, whether he's overtired or not, and sometimes that can make him even worse.
I was put onto medication. This medication is called rivastigmine, which I have to have twice a day, and then I have this other tablet which I couldn't tell you what it was called, but it helps me sleep, which I have that at night, which should help me try and relax. And then that's my two lots of tablets, and that maintains me where I am for the time being. It's frustrating, very frustrating, because when I forget things, I can see it in people's eyes. I can see that I've asked them more than once. I can see that they're frustrated with me. I can see that they're getting fed up. There's nothing worse than wanting to ask something, thinking, have you already asked it, and not really knowing the answer, and then asking it only to look at somebody's face to think, well, I must have asked it, because they've just given me the most bizarre look. My frustration is that the simple things, I put things down, I can't remember where I put them. I tell you, I have something to eat and I can't remember I've had something to eat, so I'll have it again just to make sure, or I can't remember I've had a cup of tea, so I'll have a second cup of tea because I can't remember I've had the first cup of tea. Losing my car keys, losing my phone, calling people by the wrong name all the time. At work, I've got away with that nowadays because I'm in charge. I'm sort of the big boss. I just call everybody by different names, and I make out it's a practical joke because they've all got a different name to the names that they're actually born with. But it's how I remember them. So as long as none of them get me into any trouble with the personnel department, I should be okay. So it's just a way of coping. Simple as that, you know. Just going to keep working for as long as I can because I enjoy what I do. I like exercising. I like to go running, but that's brought me a few problems where I've got lost a few times. But I do think running has helped me sometimes. When I go running, I think it stimulates my brain and gets me thinking better. And the one thing that Alzheimer's does is it tends to slows you down. So you know, it makes you look at yourself. It makes you look at what you've got around you. It makes you appreciate every moment you've got.
How much longer of the future we've got without it getting any further down the line is anybody's clue really, because nobody knows the answer to that. At the moment he's still driving. He has to renew his driving licence once every year. We've just had our last meeting with his memory counsellor and she seems happy with everything at the minute. We'll just have to try and hold on to what we've got and hope that the future lasts a little bit longer.
Just got to keep laughing, keep smiling, keep making the mistakes and laughing about it really, because otherwise it can be very, very depressing, and that's not a nice place to be in, because the darkest thought you can ever have is that you can't remember what you forgot. So if I could leave you with that thought, if you can't remember what you think you forgot, that's how Alzheimer's is. And it's not very nice.